the meat.
Welcome back from the break. Mostly superheroes. Logan here with PC Mike and the Giggler. It is time for the meat. It is why you came. It's why you showed up. We have been doing an MCU rewatch, taking a break this week, just a busy time, and wanted to focus on the finale of the 25th title in the MCU, Phase 4, happening right now in front of us, and so many more titles left to come this year. It's crazy. Live action comic books are here, and it is so much fun. I cannot believe that two of these shows that we were talking about for all year are done.
That is wild.
PC Mike, Giggler, let's give a spoiler alert right now, do some gut checks on the episode. Before we get into the story, let's just talk about last week real quick, very quickly. GRC is under attack. Sam has a chest. He opens it up. The credits roll. It's time. Before we talk about it, Giggler, how'd you feel about this episode?
Loved it. No, I don't have any complaints that are not related to the Captain America suit, but
yes,
that's about it.
So maybe some complaints. Maybe we'll get into it, some story. But overall, you're happy with what you saw.
Oh yeah, for sure.
PC Mike, initial reaction.
It was fine. I wasn't blown away with really.
I need like a lukewarm button, something like that.
Dinosaur noises.
I don't know. I wasn't blown away with it.
Wow. Okay.
I think it's a big setup, and I think
Yes.
they're doing something else.
Yes.
But it felt just kind of cheap, if I'm being honest.
Wow. Oh, that's fair. I mean, okay. Two very different opinions. My gut reaction right now, I enjoyed it. I think I'm definitely like the mixed bag of you two. I had a great time. I really enjoyed what we're going to talk about, the big reveals, the big setup for future stuff gets me really jazzed. But there's definitely like a side of it that feels a little Hollywood. Feels like kind of just like big box office stuff, that there's stuff in there for a big audience. There's certain things in there, maybe not quite for me, but overall I had a good experience with the finale. I had fun. And I had fun rewatching it too. And it was action-packed. Let's get into the story right now. Episode 6, season finale of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It was 52 minutes long. As the Flag Smashers escalate their efforts, Sam and Bucky take action. All right, opens right up. Let's just get into it. Hit up the big parts. It kind of goes pretty quick, so we'll fly through some of these. Giggler, let me know, stop me if there's something that we get too far ahead of ourselves on. Sam flies into the GRC right away, guys. We get a big reveal. Captain America is here. It's a brand new red, white, and blue wingsuit. We called it. He is the Falcon. No longer. He is Sam Wilson, Captain America, with the shield. I love the line right away. Somebody asked him right when he comes in and says, "Who are you?" Which I thought was kind of cheesy, because like, how do they not know who he is? But
No.
brand new suit.
Didn't they say was it like, that's Falcon? He's like, no, that's Captain America.
That was that. Yes.
Was that later? Or
That was
it?
later. That was
Okay.
later on. But this guy goes, "Who are you?" And he goes, "I'm Captain America." I liked that line. I liked him saying it.
Yeah.
I really did feel the gravity of like him going through like what it meant to be this hero. But, let's just talk about this suit. It's the first thing you see. It's the first thing you see in the episode. He busts through that window. Like, this is the opening sequence. Giggler, you had thoughts.
Yeah, I just think, I don't know. There's like it looks weird in like the neck area, but I guess when you're having he has to have those goggles, so I guess it's gonna look kind of weird no matter what. But
It's like the
like
alternative
two-
to the helmet.
it's like too much white to me, but it might grow on me. You never know. I feel like it took a while for like Captain America suits to be like actually really awesome, like
Yeah.
Steve Rogers Captain America. So I mean, I'm sure this will not be the same one we see in Captain America
4. Which, let's just go ahead and get it out of the way. We've said spoiler alert, but since this ended, they have already announced Captain America 4, just so you know. Like, that's exciting.
Yeah. But can't complain about the functionality of the suit. It's just
I agree.
Looks different.
Just I agree. I think it looks like it's a lot. There's a lot going on, but to your point, you just kind of said something that gives me a little hope. Steve Rogers' suit was like super cheesy. The very first suit was the cheesiest.
Mhm.
It was super red, white, and blue, and then it kind of got dark, PC Mike, what did you think of this suit and the wings and the look, the shield?
It might be just like recent watch bias, like we just kind of talked about with Mortal Kombat. Reminds me of the Vulture from Spider-Man.
Sure.
And like same movements and stuff. It's like almost like, hey, this stuff is really cool. Let me take this and do it on mine. But overall, I don't mind the suit. I don't mind the white. I think they tried to do something different with Sam.
Yeah, they did. They try to change it up, do something a little fresh. It's very America, but he comes in swinging, looks pretty cool. Right away, you get a fight scene with Batroc the Leaper fighting Captain America. Sam holds his own, does fine. I thought there'd be like more.
Yeah, George St. Pierre.
Yeah,
George St. Pierre, the MMA fighter.
he's an MMA fighter, yes, and he's the bad guy from the Winter Soldier. He fought pretty well against Steve Rogers himself, and Sharon Carter, as we know, like brought him back out for some reason. We'll talk about that in a minute. And it's kind of a weak fight scene.
Kind of like that was the opening of the show.
Yeah,
him fighting him in air as Falcon, and now he's fighting him on the ground as Captain America at the end. So it's kind of like a symbolism, I guess, of like bookends of the show right there with the first and last episode.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that. And you know what's similar is Captain America, when he does fight Batroc, he puts down his shield and kind of like he gave him that hand to hand. It's kind of that same thing. 'Cause it's like his skill set. But that being said, I'm Sam. I just be hitting him with my wings.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Flag Smashers. They're trying to kill GRC members, the World Council or whatever. That's the whole thing, right? They've captured them. They put them in a helicopter. They got them in cars. They want to kill them all now. Carly wants to kill them.
Yeah, she's
She's an
John.
awful
She's
character.
John Walker now.
She's just a murderer. She's just like she's like bloodthirsty in the end.
She
Yeah.
stinks.
At first, I was like, I get it. Like,
Just not a fan of the character.
The whole villain Flag Smashers just
Weak.
didn't do it for me.
Weak storyline.
I kind of. It's just weird. Like, I get that there's like movements for certain things, but like this one, I just like couldn't really grasp onto. But like
Yeah.
at first, I was kind of like sympathizing with her, just like thinking, okay, I guess if I can't place myself in people's shoes after people have been gone for 5 years, like that's an impossible situation. But yeah, it didn't jive with me all the way. I agree.
Yeah, and I mean, you did feel like, okay, this is the only thing I can do now. She's like, it's like the very much a villain mentality. I have to kill to make my point.
Yeah.
And that's Sam's whole thing. All right, so let's talk about Carly fighting John Walker, who does show up with his homemade shield.
Gets bent to hell.
Great value,
Right away.
Captain America.
Like a super soldier punches it and it bends. I think I had literally said out loud, like the biggest nerd. I was like, that ain't vibranium. Like such a loser. I was like, crap, don't say that. But he gets a little vengeance path, right, for his buddy Lamar. Goes after her, decides, he has a choice, right? At the point of the big fight, it's either go after her or save this truckload of people. Hey, we called it. I'm just gonna say it. John Walker has a story in front of him. He chose to be a good guy, and I was rooting for this guy by the end.
Yeah, he had a cool little arc.
Yeah, I thought so too. And I think I thought the little banter with him and Bucky was fun.
It was like they were just triple threat matching last episode, but now they're buddies.
Yeah,
Weird.
really weird. Talk more about him at the end. Pretty cool. But he does ditch that shield, so that's gone. That's not a thing anymore. All right, so Sam gets a couple big hero moments as Captain America. He saves the helicopter. Pretty cool stuff. He tackles the guy out of it, and the lady flies the helicopter for him. And then he does save the big truck at the end, toward the end. Not the end, absolutely not yet. I thought it was kind of, it's like, he can do that? Like he's flying the truck up.
And then he had those things pop out and help
The things popped up. They hooked on it. He's got jet propulsion. Yeah. I just thought when he caught it, he might break his arms.
Yeah. It's a truck.
It's a truck.
And you're a human.
Yep.
That's got to be some wild ass tech because he literally just opened the box and he's just flying around seamlessly now.
Yeah. And at least Iron Man had some training flaws. He was messing around and messing up and I don't know what to do. He just got in the suit and was just yep.
Yeah, but he has been flying these suits for a long time.
True.
Yeah. Different suit though.
Different suit, different tech. It would be cool if he had a little Jarvis type person to talk to.
Or the Spider-Man one.
He's got
you called it.
Vibranium Red Wing now.
He's got the Vibranium Red Wing. I was right on. There it was. He's like, Red Wing, go check it out.
Just pulling people's cell phone numbers out of thin air.
I thought it was a funny thing. That was a funny thing to say. He's like, see who's in there. And I was like, just stop the helicopter. It's kind of like Iron Man 3 when Tony couldn't take 3 helicopters. I was like, they're helicopters. You're in a flying suit, but that's me. That's me being picky. All right, we got Sam fighting Carly. So that was a big, powerful moment. This is coming to the end here where he's like, I won't fight you. You know, he's under the impression of like he's trying to prove that he can save everybody. Like that's what I said this in the newsletter last week. That's like a Captain America shtick. Like you're trying to save everyone. You know, not one life lost, and like you always lose. You always end up learning that's not the case. And this is where we get the big reveal right before Carly dies that Shannon is indeed Shannon Carter, the power broker.
Yeah,
Sharon Carter. What'd I say?
Shannon.
I think I always call her Shannon. Sharon Carter. She is the power broker. Did you see that coming?
I mean, I didn't see it coming, but like we did. I guess we talked about it, but I was just in the back of my head. I was like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, like,
and it still really kind of doesn't.
And there's some theories out there about that now, about saying like this is not her.
Could be. She was. So this is deep in the Reddit threads. Yeah. Deep in the Reddit threads. I guess back in Endgame, they show a screen where they show faces of a bunch of people that were blipped, and she was on one of the screens
as blipped.
So how would she be doing all of this with Carly?
Yeah, because she
like
said
all
after
this stuff in Madripoor, how is she doing that if she was blipped?
Because she said after Civil War she's been on the run for 7 years.
Right. This was
if you're blipped,
but we don't know if that's like a Marvel retcon thing where they messed that up and now they're going to have to explain it in some capacity, or if she is a Skrull.
And we've already seen an example of a retcon situation where they just flat out changed Gamora's line in Guardians of the Galaxy about being the sole survivor of her planet. My digital copy.
You might be right.
I don't know who reached into my Apple TV and did that.
Watch your Endgame copies. You don't know what's going to be.
I don't like to think that they can just be changing these movies willy nilly. Like I bought them.
Yeah.
They better not.
They could. I mean, they wouldn't have to change it, but they could still have some sort of explanation of it. I don't know.
Bonus scene or something.
Like
either way.
Yeah. There's people that they don't know for sure was Blip because they just disappeared, like Scott Lang. So you don't know if like maybe after it she just disappeared because of what was going on.
Yeah, maybe so.
Okay,
we'll talk about.
I saw a big fan theory. Is it even Shannon Carter?
Yeah, that's where I was getting. Okay, so let's just go and jump to the end credit scene because it's only her story. But okay, so like she gets her pardon essentially, and they're like, "Hey, you're Agent Carter." She's like, "I'm back," but still like bad guyish. Pops on the phone. She's like, "We got something for everybody: tech, government secrets." First of all, who's everybody? That's your first question. Well, your first question is it Sharon Carter? There's a theory that she might be like a Skrull situation because now you got Skrulls in the mix. They can shapeshift. There's Secret Wars is coming
with the Eternals film coming out. Something with that.
Yeah, Eternals is coming, and we've seen Skrulls in a few things now, including WandaVision.
Mm-hmm.
Secret Invasion would be. I mean, that's what it's all about. So, what's her face from Game of Thrones just got cast in that movie, that show.
Emilia Clarke.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So
she's
that's
in the show.
Gonna be insane.
That's gonna be awesome. So there's something there. We'll see. More to come on Sharon Carter. It was cool to hear the show say Agent Carter though, because that just made me think of Peggy.
I'm glad she got her pardon, but
who is she?
She orchestrated all that to get it. I think that's what.
That was the whole play.
Happening. Like
let's rehash what she said to Carly. She says, "Come back and work for me." Carly says, "You want to take over the world. I don't want any part of that."
She just has this Madripoor crime syndicate, and it just doesn't make sense. Like they would not make a relative of Peggy Carter be bad, right?
But you know what I thought?
Then again,
what if?
What if?
Yeah. What if? Ooh,
and here's what I was thinking about. What if? There's no reason that Kevin Feige and the brain trust at Marvel can't go like, yeah, that's what we did in What If, but like, let's do it in the real show. Like, what happens if Sharon Carter goes bad?
Everybody can turn bad.
Exactly. Well, maybe they're exploring it, and it's like these fan theories about Skrulls are just like people hoping.
I mean, just like in The Dark Knight, if you're pushed far enough, you can turn, just like Harvey Dent turned to Two-Face.
Yeah.
And she was on the run for 5 years or however long. She was pushed to her breaking point against the government to turn bad.
Yeah, and
she broke bad.
She broke bad. We just restarted Breaking Bad, and we're gonna do Better Call Saul too. So we'll be talking about that. Okay, let's keep going. We got so Carly gets shot by Sharon. She shoots her, kills her dead. Sam flies her into the GRC, and he gives a big speech.
Great speech.
Thought it was an excellent speech.
Gave
What'd
you
you think?
chills.
You had chills?
Yeah.
Couple it was pretty it felt pointed, but
Mhm.
like it was meant to.
It's just real. For real.
It was real. I wrote down a couple of the lines that stuck out to me. He said, governments use labels to avoid the question why, usually. Once you start saying, like, they're terrorists, he says they're thugs. He's like, these words are typically used whenever, like, someone doesn't want to ask, why is this group of people doing this? He says, every time he picks up the shield, he said he knows there are millions of people that are going to hate him for it, but he's still here. And he just says, at the end of the day, I believe that we can do better. Thought that was right on point, very true, not just in the show, just in general. It's a weird thing thinking about that.
Yeah.
That, like, this black man has a shield, that there are people that will hate him.
Just because of the shield.
And it's the color of his skin.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing, and he's just talking about it on
Yeah.
this premiere Marvel show.
He gets his redemption, though, with Isaiah Bradley, at least.
Yeah,
That was
all right.
awesome at the end.
Kind of-
Yeah, he goes and sees Isaiah, goes back to the house. Isaiah says, like, you know what? You're special. He's like, you're no, Martin Luther King Jr. or anything. He says that.
yeah.
He's like, but you're special. And Sam takes him to the museum, shows him a memorial, and says, nobody will ever forget what you did. I mean, definitely got me teary-eyed. Isaiah crying and like them hugging. Really powerful moment. Thought that was pretty cool. I really liked Bucky telling Sam for the first time after his big speech. He says, "Nice job, Cap." You got one of
Yeah.
those lines where it's just like these two. They are easy to love. I feel like I love these two characters. Like I feel like there should have been just like a lot more of them in this show.
Yeah, literally, like 3 episodes prior, they said they were never going to hang out again after this was done, and now they're besties.
Family. I mean, he hit the little kids. I mean, so they
Yeah.
win. Go back. Here's some big stuff that happens before the very end. You got the Flag Smashers. I kind of said this. I think this story's kind of going away. There were a few left in the car. They get blown up by an old man that's parked off to the side.
Yeah, what was he?
We're led to believe that maybe it was Val,
Okay.
the new cameo, the new character.
No, that's Zemo's butler.
That was Zemo's butler?
Yeah.
Andy, way to go.
Gotcha.
I had no idea. You didn't know?
No, I thought Zemo was
That was
Huey.
Zemo. Oh,
Thank you,
that was-
Reddit.
you think I
Thank you,
knew?
Reddit.
Thank you, Reddit. Well, so we met his butler when they get on that plane.
Yeah. So that's why they immediately go from that to the raft, where Zemo's getting
Yes.
the news,
Okay,
just
good
reading
job,
his
Andy.
books. He's getting the news, so he is getting his wish, basically.
Yes. I wrote down Zemo smiles at the raft. So
Like,
I was on the path.
I love it when Flag Smashers die.
But here's the reason, though. Val says so it quickly cuts from Zemo to Val, and he's with John Walker's wife, and they're waiting on him. And she says, "Oh, Zemo got the last laugh. Those Flag Smashers are dead." And she goes, "Or did I do it?"
I agree. There's got to be some connection. I think she is connected with Sharon.
So you think
Could
she's
be? I don't know.
connected to the...
I'm really that
It's
whole
hard.
thing
Oh, no.
is so crazy.
This is tough because here's what she says. This is the line that gets me. She says, so he comes out in his new suit. It's pretty cool. Black. He's U.S. agent now. No more shield. And she says, the things are about to get weird. And the world's not going to need a Captain America. They're going to need a U.S. agent.
She's recruiting.
Yes.
She's female Nick Fury, I feel like, for another team.
Yeah, for like bad guy group.
Who's the chick from Suicide Squad?
What do you mean? What,
Does the same thing, recruits a
Oh,
whole
yeah.
squad.
oh, just like
Amanda something?
Amanda Waller.
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's DC.
Yeah, same thing.
Same thing,
call.
same play. Oh, what did we talk about? Like the Thunderbolts was one idea. That's
Yeah.
like the Marvel version,
Well,
I think, of Suicide Squad.
yeah.
But
The General Thunderbolt is the one that runs
Sweet
that
name.
raft.
he runs the raft, General Thunderbolt.
Correct. That's
He's the
referenced
general
in a prior movie. They specifically call out that he like is in charge of it. So
Is that the guy?
That's
Is
where Zemo is. It's the guy from the Hulk. Yeah.
it- yes, from Hulk
Yeah.
and Iron Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's could be. I definitely think that she is related to, right? She's pulling some strings for Zemo. Could be Thunderbolt type thing, or just like they're just gonna recruit like we said earlier, like Dark Avengers team and just.
I wonder what she means by things are going to get weird.
Trying to think.
Like she obviously knows like something, and there's a big play.
Yeah. So what's after Loki? I don't think Loki would connect too much to this.
Oh my gosh, it's so hard now, especially like you got so many titles, and now you got Captain America 4 on the books. Like, it's getting real tough to know like when any of this is gonna like be in what,
or what it's building to as like what's the next big Avengers movie.
Right. That's
it doesn't
true.
have to be announced now. They just announced Captain America 4 after the show.
Yes, and they were obviously waiting on that.
That would have been So
and it's like after Loki, they could announce something else.
So
that's a really good point.
Marvel Phase 4 MCU slate, if this is right.
Go ahead.
It's from comicbook.com. Morbius, is that still there?
Morbius is a weird one though, because that's a Sony film, but we know that they're crossing over all these characters, and Michael Keaton's in it. But
Black
Widow's in July.
Loki's
June 11th coming up.
Venom.
Is Venom still happening this year?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's.
This is from comicbook.com, but
well,
I don't know.
These are Marvel titles for sure, because Venom's not confirmed to be in the MCU or anything yet.
Could be though.
Maybe this one's a little bit better.
Yeah, and we got this one up here. This is the stuff that's coming out this year. Loki,
Black
Black Widow. We got What If, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Ms. Marvel, Hawkeye, Spider-Man, No Way Home.
I mean, what if? Remember when Mike said a few weeks ago that we were talking about how it was connected to 3 whatever properties?
Yeah,
and
3 titles.
So like, could be
Captain America 4.
Could be
has to be that one,
right?
And then,
or it could connect to Secret Invasion with Skrulls.
Well, then it's already connected to Wakanda.
Right. That's another one too. Which I don't know fully. Oh my god, your cat just scared the crap out of me.
Is he down here?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Hey, Ollie. Sorry.
It's like
Hey,
Mike, stop getting weird with my legs.
All right, let's move through the story. Wrap up the episode. Getting toward the end here. You do have the boat is fixed, and Sam and Bucky go home. I say home, like Bucky's hanging out with the family. Kids are hanging on his arm. Oh, I didn't even tell you. Oh, Bucky told his older friend that he killed his son.
Yuri. Yeah.
And then he's drinking at the bar, and then he just kind of watches him drink.
Well, I'll tell you what happened there. He also gives his therapist a letter that says like, "Thanks, Doc." So what that scene was him looking at that. That was like his last name in the book.
Yeah.
He like looked at the girl. I think that's him thinking about like, I can date again maybe one day, and like he's healed and redeemed, and he's like moving forward.
What would his like Bumble profile say? I'm a 109-year-old frozen man.
Metal arm.
Yeah.
And he's Sebastian Stan. He'd be fine.
Yeah.
He's gonna be just fine.
I wear leather jackets constantly, even in like the southern United States.
All the time. Only leather jackets.
Speaking of that arm, how about that superhero landing that he had?
It was fine. I mean, he was falling. He fell.
Still pretty cool.
I know, and it was cool. Him dragging his metal arm and then landing it. Yeah, it was cool. See if there's anything else.
Well, speaking of Bucky,
yeah,
could we? So obviously, I don't think we even talked about this, but like the credits after it changed it to Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, that's the last thing. Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
But like maybe next, like we've talked about season 2 potentially, but now we also have Captain America 4. So we don't know what that storyline is gonna be. Maybe that's just a continuation of this.
Yeah, maybe so.
That would be cool.
And it seems like they should be partners.
Or maybe the next season's like Captain America, and then it ends with Captain America and the White Wolf.
White Wolf, that's what I've seen passed around. Oh, and I've also I laughed whenever I kind of saw it, because I said, you'll hear some of this that you've heard in the newsletter, but I said Captain America and the Winter Soldier 2.
Yeah.
Because there's already been 1.
Yep.
But it would be so cool if it was the White Wolf or something. But yeah, I guess because he really does call his past the Winter Soldier. That's his way of saying when I killed everybody and I was a murderer, that was the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, that's my point. Why would he want to be called that now? He needs to move on. If this show is about Sam moving on, Bucky's still moving on, sort of, but it's not.
He still has anything else in the comics.
That's what I was saying. Do they call him White Wolf in the comics? Is that a superhero thing? Because I always thought that was maybe some original writing from the Marvel team.
No, I think that's comic book, but I don't know how prevalent it was.
Okay.
I mean, hey, they can make their own stuff. I'd be down for it. Doesn't all have to be comic book canon, I guess.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That's true. That's a really
Yeah.
good point. Well, I did like that though. I love having the new Captain America. Let's do some final thoughts here. PC Mike, anything that we missed here? Or any final? You can go give your final thoughts on the series overall. We'll wrap this thing up.
I think we've hit it. I think it was entertaining. Just kind of muddled at times. I felt like you guys even said it. You wanted their story,
Yeah,
not just different little avenues. The reaction online's been just okay that I've seen. The last episode was rated the lowest out of all the episodes on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow. Oh wow.
It was like around 65.
Wow. Yeah, I'll be really interested to read this week what more people say, and we'll circle back.
But overall, I liked it. I think it's a big setup.
Yeah.
I think it's just a setup for future canons and different things. I'll give it a rating of a 3.
Wow. Yeah.
Straight
sure.
3.
Yeah. Wow. Overall. Yeah, I like that. Giggler, lay it on us, man. You really did a good job with this series. I feel like you were really in tune with the writing and the style of where it was going. You called so many things. I feel like we called a lot in this show.
Without the Giggler, I'd be lost on this series almost.
Got that percentage up after WandaVision when we're batting 1 for 10.
Yeah, I feel like now we're 1 for 5.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
But yeah, I agree. I liked it. I mean, it kept me entertained the whole time through. Something I probably would not be against rewatching, even in a couple weeks or something like that. You always catch stuff the second time around. I'm excited for kind of what this builds to, for sure. There's a lot of changes I feel like that are coming overall, so I'm excited to see where it goes. But all the stuff that we've talked about today is purely just 100% speculation. They could be going a completely different route. Maybe Sharon Carter really is just bad.
Maybe she's just a bad guy.
I don't want to believe it, but
maybe so. It's been a long time, a lot of years.
Yeah.
And excited for what's to come next. I mean, Captain America 4 is going to be a movie.
We don't even know release date yet, but I'm pumped.
That's going to be awesome. And that alone is fits right in with what PC Mike said. This really does. It felt kind of like a setup thing, which is fine. But I'm with you too. You go back and rewatch. I want to maybe watch WandaVision again. Watch this straight through. I'm wondering. Yeah, pull him down. No, we got a cat on the table. Oh
my God!
And he's allergic too. We'll get you out. I know we'll get you out of here so you don't die. You need an allergy pill or something?
I already took plenty.
Okay, all right.
It's spring. It's every day, baby.
Anything else you want to add before we wrap this one up?
That's it.
Get me the hell out of here.
Oh my God, I just jumped right up there.
Right
Sorry, God, that's Ollie. Okay, so my thoughts: Falcon Winter Soldier. Got a cat in the studio today. That's hilarious. He's like, you guys have been down here longer than you ever have, so I came down. Okay, so I liked it. I had a good time. It felt like Marvel to me. I enjoyed it. I had that special feeling throughout a little bit, where I'm like, this is fun. I could keep watching. For me, it does feel like live action, comic books happening, to where we're having weekly content. And I like that, we don't have to put everything up on the pedestal as we're gonna treat Captain America 4 differently than we are a TV series. Maybe that's the whole point of all this. Like we said, this is the big experiment. A lot more titles to come. But that, WandaVision and Falcon the Winter Soldier are done. I didn't get your rating. You want to rate the series?
Oh, you're right. 3-3.
3-3. I'll give it up for you. And I'll go and give it a solid. I'm gonna give it a 3-3 as well. That's a good score.
I think it's a little bit overall. I would agree, a little bit below WandaVision, but
yeah,
not by much.
Yeah. And I don't even remember what I rated that, but
I
this is in the moment. That'll be good. It'll be interesting to go back and check, see how we do against our own selves. A lot more titles coming up. The next one we got is Loki coming June 11th. The countdown's officially on. Not in a hurry too much. We got summertime here. It's warming up. We're excited to be hanging out with you. And next week will be a totally different piece. So let's go ahead and get into what's coming up. Get through this real quick so we don't give Andy an allergic reaction to the cat. But we did a music show. I just recorded this today. Who remembers the 2001 film Osmosis Jones?
I do.
This is a great soundtrack.
Yeah, you remember it. Did you see it? You said it's a great
I watched
soundtrack.
this recently, yeah.
You watched it recently? It
was
random.
on TV, I don't know. I watch a lot of TV, I guess. So.
I hadn't seen this in so long. It's so great. Chris Rock's in here. You got You got all sorts of names in this
Is
thing.
it the
Brandy's
7-Up
in there.
guy?
The 7-Up guy.
Like was in all the 7-Up commercials or Sprite commercials back in the day?
I don't know. I don't know.
Orlando Jones?
He I don't know if I remember seeing his name on it because I
Okay.
just did this music show. I did the cast, did the IMDb, and like Andy said, great soundtrack. We got the image pulled up right now on YouTube and Facebook. If you're watching along, you can pull out your Spotify app, scan this right now. You can take a screenshot of it and use it later to look up the podcast. And yeah, it was a really fun soundtrack. You had the Saint Lunatics were on there.
Yep.
It was a random mixed bag. It was really fun, totally off the wall, and a really good time. So that's our spinoff on Spotify. Just look up The Music Show in Spotify or even search Osmosis Jones. It's all happening at mostlysuperheroes.com/The Music Show. Those are new every week on Tuesday. And then the week after next, so this is episode 18, next week's 19. So episode 20, keep an eye out. We do have our MCU rewatch to continue. We got a few to go. The next one is Black Panther. I'm so sorry, dude.
No,
This
it's
is the first
fine.
time he's ever been on yet.
It's fine. It's not a big deal.
Cat in the studio. Hey, Cat.
Yeah.
We got Black Panther on the screen. Cat's in the studio. We're going to talk all about it. Use that hashtag MCU rewatch and go check it out at mostlysuperheroes.com/MCU.
As long as you don't have any dinosaurs in here, we're good.
And something new every day at mostlysuperheroes.com. Check the schedule. Episodes on Thursday, early on Wednesday, and the newsletter on Friday. Go check it out. It's been episode 18. I'm Logan. This has been Mostly Superheroes. PC Mike, any final words for the squad?
I think that we really enjoyed the live watch, so be ready for some more of that kind of content coming up. And I think we're switching maybe to DC a little bit, right?
Yeah, we're going to get the DC rewatch going. We're going to move over. You guys talked about watching like Batman 1966. That
Yeah.
got me kind of excited. I don't think I've ever even watched that.
I haven't either.
Start from the beginning.
All right.
What else we got to do?
Giggler, any final words for the crew out here?
Thank you for listening, especially if you were one of the people that watched earlier and then is also going to listen to us talk about it again. That's the real fans right there.
The ones that come back for more.
Yes. Thanks to everyone.
Thank you guys so much for watching, subscribing, hitting that alert button so you can get notified when there are new episodes. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, and everywhere you get your podcast. We got the best fans in the world, and we'll see you next time on Mostly Superheroes.